There's another story circulating that I want to dig into. So, former Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene reportedly said there have been discussions around Trump potentially using nuclear weapons to force Iran into submission. Now, there is an important distinction here. We're talking specifically about so called tactical nuclear weapons. These are nuclear weapons designed for more limited battlefield rather than the massive strategic weapons that most of us picture when we hear the word nuclear. So the United States has developed these capabilities and, according to the security experts referenced in the material I've been reviewing, they do not believe this likely to happen. And one of those reasons why is practical, and that is what exactly would be the target? There doesn't appear to be some single Iranian military target where using a nuclear weapon suddenly solves the larger strategic problem. And then obviously there would be the enormous consequences to the US becoming the first country to use a nuclear weapon in warfare since 1945. Now, I also want to talk about South Korea. So, the next story hasn't gotten nearly enough attention in my opinion. The relationship between the US and South Korea is changing. The United States has conducted military exercises with South Korea for decades, and that relationship exists for a reason. So, the United States fought alongside South Korea during the Korean War, and South Korea became one of America's most important democratic allies in Asia. American troops are still stationed there, and the alliance has been a major deterrent against North Korean aggression. But Trump has now questioned American participation in joint military exercises with South Korea, apparently in part because of his relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong un. And that's remarkable because look at what's happening on the other side. So, North Korea is reportedly sending tens of thousands of troops to support Russia. Russia is fighting Ukraine. Russia is also helping Iran. And the United States is currently fighting Iran. So just draw the lines. South Korea is our ally. Ukraine is aligned with the West and wants deeper integration with NATO. Meanwhile, we have North Korea who is supporting Russia. Russia's supporting Iran. And yet we're still seeing increased American tension with South Korea while Trump continues talking positively about Kim Jong un. And whatever you think Trump's motivation is, let's look at the result. So, South Korea is now openly discussing the possibility that they might need to rely more heavily on military itself because it can't assume the US will always be there. And that's really a significant development because American power since the World War II hasn't just come from having the largest military, it's come from having allies, countries that have trusted the US enough to build security arrangements around us. And if those countries begin deciding that American commitments can change depending upon who happens to occupy the White House, they might have to start making different plans. We've already watched an enormous amount of tension develop with Canada. Now we're talking about South Korea, and that's something I think we should be watching very carefully.